All right, big update coming in. Champai Soren's government wins the trust vote in Jharkhand. Big development for Jharkhand and a win for Champai Soren's team as he takes oath as the new chief minister. And in barely a few days' time, he's managed to also prove his majority. Champai Soren, he's just won the trust vote and has managed to get 47 votes in his favor. Big update as Champai Soren beats the odds, though it was expected. 48 MLAs are already with the JMM coalition. It's the JMM, Congress, RJD and one other, CPIM, who are basically in coalition for Jharkhand to form the government. They managed to keep all their MLAs intact and 47 of them are said to have voted in favor of the JMM coalition, while 29 against. 29 is the number that the BJP has. So all, of course, apart from the BJP, it appears all the other party members, MLAs, have voted in favor of the Mahagathbandhan. End of the political drama for Soren's government. After Hemant Soren, now Champai Soren taking over the reins and showing his stability with 47 votes in his favor, which is a comfortable majority. 40 or 41 is the magic number, and out of which they've managed good numbers, keep their numbers intact from what they won the Jharkhand Assembly in 2019 to now. It appears that they've managed to keep their numbers intact despite Hemant Soren being arrested and a lot of commotion, questions about the stability of the Mahagathbandhan in Jharkhand. Here you have Chief Minister Champai Soren managing to prove his strength with 47 votes, a comfortable majority in his favor. Shreya joining us on the phone line. Shreya, go on. 47 votes in favor of Champai Soren. As expected, it appears he's sailed through comfortably. Shreya is with us. Shreya, if you can hear me, please take us through what's happened in the Jharkhand Assembly. 47 votes in favor of Champai Soren's government now. A comfortable majority, so no controversy really, or is there?
Well, absolutely, Navina. No controversy. This is something that the JMM has been suggesting from day one, that they have comfortably got a 47 majority. Now remember, 48 was their number, so their entire house is intact. All those statements that were coming in, especially from the Bharatiya Janata Party, that the house was not in order, has somewhere down the line been squashed by the alliance here in Jharkhand. 47 of the MLAs have voted in favor of Champai Soren. The total strength was 48. Remember, Nabila, one of their MLAs, Ramdas Soren, however, because of his health, is right now in the national capital for treatment. But all the MLAs who are in alliance completely stays intact. Not a single vote has defected elsewhere. So clearly this is something that the alliance will now be projecting as a big win coming from the state of Jharkhand.
All right, a big win for Champai Soren as he's just managed to prove his strength in the floor of the House. The Assembly started off with Champai Soren making a lengthy speech and followed with Hemant Soren, who spoke, and both claiming that they are being heckled and targeted by the centre. Their netas are being falsely implicated on cases. And speaking specifically of Hemant Soren, he himself said, if there's even one allegation against me that's proven, if the ED is able to show papers to prove these allegations of land mining against me, then I'm willing to resign from politics immediately. So big statements coming in as Champai Soren has managed to prove his majority. The JMM alliance stays in Jharkhand. All right, we're going to try and get you some political reactions on that. But this is, of course, a big development and an update as we have Champai Soren, the newly sworn-in Chief Minister of Jharkhand, who's managed to prove his strength in the floor of the Jharkhand Assembly. He's got 47 votes in his favor. So that's a big win for Champai Soren. But this is not outside expected lines, very much expected. Champai Soren had the numbers already even before they went into a floor test. Though they were a little fearful of any attempt to poaching, so not taking a chance. Many of those MLAs were flown in to Hyderabad. And Congress, in fact, took up the responsibility to ensure that the flock stays together and flew all the MLAs of the JMM Congress RJD to Hyderabad to keep them intact until the floor test was announced. So today, all of them made their way back to Ranchi, and as expected, they managed to form the government and keep their numbers intact. Shreya is with us. Shreya, the BJP is 29, of course, unflinched. They voted against, as expected. But about the independents, we were expecting one or two to go haywire. But it seems like Champai Soren really managed it quite well and smoothly so.
Suggested that they have been able to pull their entire flock together. All the developments that we've been seeing since last week, Monday onwards in the national capital, and subsequently those statements that were also coming in that there is a possibility of a defection because some of the MLAs are not happy with the Champai Soren's name being suggested, completely falls flat. Clearly, we see the entire house of the JMM coalition in order. 47 have voted in favour. 48 is the real strength with their MLA Ramdas Soren, as I mentioned, being in the national capital. 47 is the entire figure. So clearly, what was being suggested by the JMM and Congress sources has been able to prove on the floor of the ground as well. We also kind of saw Hemant Soren in his address attack the Enforcement Directorate, suggestively saying that this was a witch hunt against them. Also tried to evoke the tribal and the Adivasi sentiment when in his speech inside the Vidhan Sabha. So all the cameras are right now waiting for Hemant Soren coming out. Remember, how his reaction will be something interesting to see, because so far the coalition has successfully passed the litmus test so far as Jharkhand is concerned.
All right, so they've passed the litmus test. What next now would we know? Is it now going to be smooth sailing? Has there been a meeting been called for all the MLAs to come together? It's going to be a strategy that they need to work up in the face of this dent to their credibility. With Hemant Soren, the former chief minister, arrested, it's a real dent to the credibility and a trust deficit that it would create among the minds of the voters, those who voted for the JMM in the name of Hemant Soren. For them, this is a time that they need to be pacified right ahead of the Lok Sabha elections and their own assembly elections at the end of 24.
Well, absolutely, and we also need to understand that this is something that the alliance was also waiting for as an oxygen, we can say, when in the recent neighboring states, the alliance has faced a defeat of sort, we can say, especially with Nitish Kumar going back to the NDA. At a time like that, the alliance in the Jharkhand pulling off something while their sitting chief minister was arrested. There were sources that were suggesting that in all possibility, the JMM coalition will not be able to pull it together. There was a delay also in the governor coming in and suggesting that you can come and swear in and also subsequently carry out the floor test. At a time like this, we can definitely say that what's been pulled off in Jharkhand particularly will something that the alliance would want to milk upon. Important to point out, Nabila, that today Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra is also in Ranchi. So clearly, this is an alliance show of strength that we're right now seeing from Jharkhand, something that we cannot ignore in the light of the Lok Sabha elections. This cannot only be have bearings in the state. At least that is what will be suggested by the alliance partners. They would want to milk this entire show of strength, at the backdrop of the upcoming Lok Sabha elections.
All right. Hemant Soren there also was very much part of this trust vote. He had taken exemption from custody for a moment, for a day, in fact, to be part of this vote of confidence. And he managed to be present at the assembly and also took the opportunity to give an extensive speech in the assembly house where he spoke about him being targeted and promised to quit politics if there's any proof that the ED can furnish to show that he is corrupt.
अध्यक्ष महोदय, बड़ी सुनियोजित तरीके से बड़े लंबे समय से 2022 से 31 तारीख को दिए गए अंजाम की पटकथा लिखी जा रही थी। बड़े तरीके से उस पकवान को बहुत धीमी आंच में पकाया जा रहा था, लेकिन ये इनकी जो पकवान है ये पकने को तैयार नहीं थे। लेकिन इन प्रकार इन्होंने इस आधे अधूरे पकवान को अपने लिए परोसा और बड़ी सुनियोजित तरीके से मुझे अपनी गिरफ्त में लिया है। इस घटना को अंजाम देने में कहीं ना कहीं राजभवन भी शामिल रहा है। और जिस तरीके से ये घटना घटित हुई है, मैं बहुत आश्चर्यचकित हूं। इसलिए कि मैं एक आदिवासी वर्ग से आता हूं। नियम, कायदे, कानून की जानकारी का थोड़ा अभाव रहता है। बौद्धिक क्षमताएं अभी हमारे विपक्ष के बराबर हम लोगों की नहीं है, लेकिन सही गलत की समझ तो हर इंसान भी रखता है, हर जानवर भी रखता है। आज कहीं ना कहीं ऐसा लगता है अध्यक्ष महोदय कि बाबा भीमराव अंबेडकर जी का जो सपना था कि सभी जात धर्म के लोग एक समान प्लेटफॉर्म पे आए, एक बराबरी और एक साथ चले, मुझे लगता है कि जिस तरीके से बाबा भीमराव अंबेडकर जी को भी अपना समाज छोड़कर बौद्ध धर्म अपनाना पड़ा, ऐसे ही आदिवासी दलितों के साथ भी आने वाला भविष्य में करने की तैयारी हो रही है।
All right, Hemant Soren there receiving the opportunity to speak at length right in the middle of his custody there.